Alright, welcome back to the channel. Max Tornow here. In this video I want to share with you my goal setting strategy that has allowed me to make my first million. Obviously I'm still applying this goal setting strategy even after my first million, but it was extremely important at the beginning. So if you're someone who's sitting at home and you're wondering, hey, how can I generate more money, how can I make it in a more secure way, maybe even, you know, how can I make it in a way so I'm my own boss, and this video is for you. We're going to talk a little bit more about the mindset, the meta level, and the goal setting strategy. It's also, by the way, the goal setting strategy that we've very successfully applied to all our clients so far, a couple hundred clients that have done that. So really recommend you tune in if you like the idea of money. We're in Amsterdam right now on a little layover. Crazy city, absolutely beautiful, especially before Christmas. So if that sounds good to you, then let's get you started.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a meaningless dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money while not having to worry that you could get fired? My name is Max Tornow, and I've attained that freedom and I've attained that security. No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you, so here's to your freedom.
So the way I want to tell you this video is from my perspective, but in a way so you can resonate with that, and ideally in a way so you can actually replicate that for you. And I remember in the very beginning, I was sitting at home and I asked myself the whole idea of like, is there more to life? And maybe you can resonate with that and call it, generation so-and-so, being entitled and whatnot. But I legitimately asked myself the question, is there more to life than, going to school, get a job, and then getting your 2.1 kids and your 1.5 cars, and that's it? Maybe I was entitled, but who cares? Yeah, ultimately it brought me to where I am right now, so probably not such a bad idea. And the thing is, I looked at myself and I didn't think I was special. I didn't think I was particularly smart. I was probably below average, if anything. But I told myself the following thing, and this is really important point here. I said, Max, the chances that you will succeed and that you will build, a business on your own and you'll attain freedom is very, very slim. But, and here's a caveat, even if the chance is 1%, then you should do everything in your power to make that 1% come true. I literally told myself that because there's one thing that is much, much worse than failing, and that is asking yourself, what if? I told myself, even if it was 1% chance only, and I'm gonna end up, being 80, 90 years old on my deathbed, I'm gonna be mad at myself for not having gone for that 1%. I'm gonna be wondering, hey, what would have happened if I had done it? And that's a really interesting point if you really think about that, and that puts you in a position where you can really only win. Because either you actually make it happen and that 1% chance of you succeeding actually becomes true, or at least you don't have to worry and you don't have to point the finger at yourself, look in the mirror and say, oh, you gave up, you out. You don't want to have these things happening to you. So that was kind of like the decision moment for me. I said, even if it's just 1%, I'm gonna go make it happen no matter what. And again, that puts you in a position of you can only win, and that's a beautiful way to do so. And then the other thing was, a lot of people say like, oh, comparison is the thief of all joy. Don't compare yourself to others. Go, do things your own speed. And I kind of agree to a degree, but at the same time, if I really look at how many things I've pulled through because I was angry, because I was envious, because I was jealous of someone else's success. If you really knew how much anger went into all the things that I've actually had to endure, you wouldn't necessarily try to stay away from anger. I think nowadays we're so cuddled in our little comfort zones, in our little safe spaces, that sometimes you gotta go get angry. Especially when you see other people succeed, especially when you see someone younger than you succeed or someone dumber than you succeed. Hell yeah, go get angry. Use that as fuel to actually execute, all right? And I'm literally just aimlessly wandering around here. It's really nice views here, beautiful. And then the other thing was the following. This is kind of like more the hands-on approach of things here. I've told myself, okay, Max, you have 24 hours a day. You sleep 6, 7, 8 hours a night. Back then I actually tried to cut my sleep down to 6 hours a night, which was a horrible idea. I need my 8.5. So you have so many waking hours. So Max, what you're gonna do is you're gonna do everything in your power on literally a binary basis that brings you closer to your goal of becoming free, of becoming your own boss. A binary basis. So I literally said, okay, Max, you either get closer to your goal or you get moved further away from your goal. So when I would get up and, you know, I was tired and I was overworked, what did I tell myself? I said, well, you can sleep in now, but that's literally going to get you further away from your goal. Or you get up, you know, you grind it out, and you go get closer to your goal. And this binary approach really helps putting things into perspectives, because that way you're not sweet cuddling yourself to be in your little comfort zone. That way you're not out. That way you're literally not even giving you a chance to not succeed. And that is what I did. I literally set all my goals, all my daily actions, my weekly actions, every single thing that I did, the people that I hung out with, the things that I learned, the extra exercises at the gym. I said, okay, if I do this now, it gets me closer to my goal. It makes me smarter, makes me stronger, makes me a better person, makes me more experienced, and so on and so forth. And that has literally helped me build my own successful online business. Back in the days, it was an online coaching business for dating advice and relationship advice. And that is literally how I made my first million. And the reason why I wanted to shoot this video here is because Amsterdam was actually one of my first European tour dates that I was on. It's a very busy city, as you can see. So when I went on my very first world tour, first I toured a little bit through the States, and then I came back to Europe here, and Amsterdam was one of the first places that I went to. You know, going through these streets here, the same streets that I wandered a couple years before when I was on my first world tour. I wasn't even getting paid yet. I literally had nothing to my name. I wasn't well known. I had nothing. I'd made my first 4 figures kind of myself, but of course I was young and stupid, so I always spent it. So I basically was broke, notoriously, day in, day out. And coming back here now, you know, where I have made all this money and where I have a team, and where not only have I succeeded in my first business, I made all the money that I could ever make, traveled all the world, bought all the nice things I could ever buy, and then doing the same with my second business, kind of like, it's a feeling of I have arrived, but at the same time I still keep pushing, because at the same time I kind of feel like I've merely just started. And that's why I wanted to shoot this video, because I want to remind myself what's possible and where you can actually get to if you don't give up and if you maintain focus. And it's kind of interesting enough, because as I'm walking through the streets here, there's music, there's people, there's distractions. I don't know 100% where I'm actually going. It's a perfect metaphor for life. When you want to succeed, whatever it is that you're setting yourself out to do, there's going to be a lot of distractions as well. And you might have noticed, like, I'm giving my best of having a continuous flow of thought here and looking into the camera, but oftentimes you get slightly distracted by a noise here, by someone coming to your field of vision. You have to maintain that focus, and it's a micro skill being able to shoot a video here while doing all these things. It's also a macro skill, being able to stay on track with your goals and executing regardless of what's going on. Like, oh, there's a cute dog, or there's a car, or we gotta look, or there's someone talking to you. You have to maintain that hyper focus. And that brings me to the last point. There's also going to be sacrifice that you have to make. This is really, really key. And I even say this to our clients, because a lot of times people come to us and they're like, oh, I'm in your program now, I'm getting mentored by you. This is it. No, this is just the beginning. None of my programs are magic pills. God damn it, of course you have to execute. Of course you have to be willing to sacrifice some Netflix time, or all the Netflix time ideally. You have to sacrifice hanging out with friends. You have to let go of toxic friends, toxic relationships, and so on and so forth. And that's a really, really key factor. Please don't be fooled by social media nowadays, of all these influencers making it look like it's so easy to make a ton of money. It's easy for me because I'm there, and I could easily do it again. I've done it twice in my life, literally from ground up, from scratch. Of course, I always had great mentors, but at the same time, if you're coming from a 9-to-5 mentality, and if you never worked extremely hard in your life for a very consistent, long period of time, it's going to be hard for you as well. But the point is, it's not impossible. Even if it's only a 1% chance, go grasp that 1% chance and make it happen. So, that being said, if this inspires you and you say, you know, this sounds great, I am willing to work hard, I am willing to make personal sacrifices, and I am willing to overcome maybe some issues that you have yourself, yeah, then you can book a free consultation call with us, either with me directly or with an expert from my team. All you gotta do is you click that link down in the description below, and brings you to a page. You can read through the page, and at the bottom of the page you fill out the application. It takes 2 minutes to fill it out, and then you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. If you're watching this video in a time of your life where you feel like you want change, you want to step up, especially important for you if you're someone who's withering away in a 9-to-5 job that doesn't interest them, that doesn't fulfill them, then that call is for you. It's going to be with a real person, not an automated bot funnel. Of course, you'll be talking to a real person. That means also we have limited spots. So if the link down in the description still works, it means we still have a spot open for you. So very simple. We're going to be talking about only implementable steps on that call. We're not going to be giving you some watered down mainstream BS generalized advice. Let me make sure I'm in focus here. There you go. We're only going to be talking about the real things that you need to execute in order to get you started. We've done it many hundreds of times before. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate you. Maybe talk soon. Bye-bye.
Hey all, Joseph here. So this month I made my first close, 1.2k euro. It's lead from the LinkedIn. He basically handled himself. He was asking me all the questions that he needed to know in order to buy the product or the coaching, and it feels super good. It feels super good.